Hello, everybody, and welcome to Geeky Weekly with old friends and random talky stuff. Yay! Yeah, we're all old here, and we're kind of friends. So yeah, we're going to do some talky stuff. That's it. That's what we're going to do. We haven't got any themes or anything like that. Maybe one day we'll try and come up with something like themes, so we've got something to talk about. But at the moment, we're just going to ramble. Maybe show some comic books. And Stephen Alex Kyle's, you've got a mate coming on in the second half of the show, haven't you?
Yeah, I do believe at some point in time he should be popping in there and showing off some jaw-dropping stuff from out of Montreal.
Yeah, this is the guy you do trading with, isn't it?
Yeah, I've done a lot of trades with. He's since become like my best friend. So
I think we need a fourth regular because I don't like it only being 3 on the screen. I like it when there's 4 on the screen. So imagine that he's coming later on.
Anyway, you're down here in the bottom.
Oh, yeah, that's me. Yeah, my little furry face that Matilda did for me is down there as well. So it's all good. Mark's still in Spain, so he hasn't got anything to show us, and any comic book wise. He's still. How many videos are you ahead, mate? Because you've had about 4 videos while you've been away in Spain that were done in your back garden or something. So it's like,
yeah, I know. I loaded up. I pre-recorded, so I pre-recorded all my because I do a show with Alan every Monday. Price variants. So we recorded about 4 or 5 of those ahead of time, and I also pre-recorded sort of 8, 9, 10 videos in my garden, which you can't do anymore because it's now about 4 degrees centigrade. And our host appears to have disappeared.
He's going in circles. I'm sitting here from our talk backstage about to ramble off a haiku relevant to the show.
Have you got a Batman haiku?
I've got an Us haiku here in a minute, but I'm waiting for him to come back. I got to figure out the last line of it. I've got the first 2. But he's done disappeared all spinning out.
Yeah. Which is not good news, really, because he's the host. So we can't bring him back.
He's got to go out and come back in. Oh.
So Kyle, all that old stuff you've got, all the old comics, the 1922 Whitman and the 1885, whatever it was, Nicholas you just showed me.
Yeah.
Where did you pick those up? Did you spot them on the eBay, or did you find
most of them online? Yeah, eBay.
Most of them online. Yeah,
because most of my stuff's more recent, and that's how I've done more recent stuff. So I know what I'm looking for, and I find them catchwords, and it just slips by people. They don't know what they're looking at, and I just kind of swoop in there and grab it. And
yeah, exactly. Because that Popeye, you also showed a really early Popeye, which looks in absolutely incredible condition.
Yeah, probably the highest grade. There he is. Probably the highest grade of that.
My computer decided to shut itself off as I was in a stream. It gives me like 2 seconds warning that it's about to switch off, and the battery's really kind of weak now as well. I meant to plug it in before we started and I forgot, and it's like just turned itself off. So I'm back. What did I miss?
Yeah, it's always a problem when your host runs out of battery.
Yeah, second week in a row. So maybe by the third week I'll sort it out. But yeah, it's annoying as well because it's what the PC laptop now. You can't take the battery out and buy a new one. It's all built in now, so it's annoying. Once the battery decides it wants to be a pain in the butt, you can't really replace it. Never mind. Just got to remember to keep it bloody well plugged in. Anyway, so have you been shopping in Spain for comics?
Yeah, I did get some Spanish comics. I did put a video out showing some of them, but yeah, so I have got some Spanish comics. If you want to see some of my Spanish comics,
why not? Indeed, why not start with show and tell?
Okay,
it's the right screen.
Hang on a second.
Put you in the big screen.
While he's digging those out, and before I forget, I want to rattle off a haiku that I wrote off the top of my head while we were sitting there waiting for you to spin back on.
Is it comic book related?
It's us related. See if I can get this off. Us related. We felt us. You and I.
Oh, us. Okay, right.
Us related. See if I can remember this off the top of my head because I scattered it around a little bit.
All right, we're not going to count the words, so you're okay if the syllable count isn't quite
I'll
right.
get it. I'll get it. I'll do it. I'll just count off to the side and see if I can do it. Greyman, Kyle, Mark, friends, and random talky stuff. Old gets on parade.
Okay, that works. That works.
Or not old gets on parade. S gets on parade.
Old farts.
S gets on parade. I didn't want to repeat words, but I didn't write it down. I came up with a couple of them, but figure a way to call us gets, put our names in it, put the show name in it, and figure out a way to call us gets.
Good off the cuff haiku.
Yeah, that could be a new feature. It's a new feature on the show, new segment. So if we get anyone in chat, they can choose a theme, and Kyle has to come up with a haiku by the end of the show.
I think that's pretty impressive, and it's unique. I've not seen another comic show do impromptu haikus.
This is very true.
I have for years and years and years on command. I've written poetry and songs to prove I can do it. I've written a complete song. Hey, Roscoe, I've written a complete song, words and music in 10 minutes, and it actually got recorded.
Okay.
Wow.
I've done plenty of lyrics for my old death metal band Suffering, but I can't play music to save your life or write music. But plenty of depressing lyrics I wrote back in the day. Right, enough about depressing lyrics. Let's have a look at some nice Spanish comics. What do they call them in Spain? El Comicos.
I've been to quite a few Spanish comic book shops, and back issues is not a thing. No. So I'm in Bilbao at the moment. I've been to San Sebastian, Coruna. I always look for the comic shops, and they're
Did you take some guns to San Sebastian?
I didn't, sorry.
Isn't that a film or something?
Yeah.
Wait, are you saying I should go get my gun again?
No.
Can you not encourage him, please, Greg?
I certainly won't encourage you. I thought it was a toy gun. I couldn't believe he got a real gun. I was like, how can you tell just looking at it, it's a real gun? Like Bill said, that's a real gun. I'm like, how can you know? It just looks like plastic to me. I don't know.
I know. Anyway. I thought we're going to have the first ever Cover Slingers massacre.
Yeah, it's just lucky you didn't win. You would have shot the scene enough, probably. But anyway,
right. So there's no back issue, which really I did want to find some back issue. I wanted to find some old Spanish vampirellas, but I'd failed.
Okay, right.
But they do have everything, and also everything is Spanish language, so they're quite proud of their language. So you don't find the American versions, or at least I didn't, which was great because I didn't want the American versions because I can get those in the UK. So here is an Electra. Number 100 in Spanish.
Okay.
A nice cover.
That's very shiny, isn't it? Is it larger the format than the US?
I think it's the same. Or... No, I think it's the same. I think it's the same size format. Right. What really pleased me was they had a bargain bin in one of the shops, and I found a new price for this was €12, but I found it for €3, and it's a collected edition of Gru.
Right. Sergio Aragones, that makes sense.
And I'm a big Gru fan, and this is it says El Hombre Más Inteligente del Mundo,
the
most intelligent man in the world.
Yeah, I know a few words, not many.
And Roberto does not look impressed.
No. Doesn't and
also the bard on the back is making a quick exit because he knows something horrible is going to happen.
Exactly. So, as soon as Gru hits town, that's when you get out of town if you've got any sense.
Absolutely.
It means an army's on the way, or there's going to be an accidental massacre of some kind or other. I've got a few Gru, but one of those ones I haven't really got space. I'm not planning on buying more, but if I was to come across like a collection to finish off my run, I'll be upset because it's always a good read. I don't know how he's got. I mean, you got to have your hat off to him because that guy can write a funny story every single time, can't he?
Brilliant.
Never read a dull issue.
He's in his 80s, I think, still going, and he's they're making a Gru television series, and Sergio Aragones is behind, is backing it, and
great stuff.
Hats off to him. Gru is the oldest independent he's the oldest character who's owned by the creator. So he is owned by Sergio Aragonés.
We've got a couple of mendicants in the chat we should say hello to. Hello, Sleepy Reader. That's what he calls it. Someone has a running joking about mendicants or something like that in Gru. I can't remember what it is now. I don't know what it means, but they mention it a bit.
So do you have the first appearance of Gru, Mark?
I do, and Destroy a Duck. It's Destroy a Duck #1. Yeah. Very interesting history. Steve Gerber's battle against Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. That's a great first appearance. And I've got all the Pacific Comics ones, all the Epic comic ones, all the Epics, all the Marvels. A few of the Image ones is all I've got. A couple of the old Marvel ones and a few Image ones. Yeah, Image. He went to Image as well for a short period of time. But he's been with Dark Horse for a long time now, so I suspect that's where he's going to end up. This one's quite fun. This is I have been collecting this series. It's DC versus Vampires. Okay,
it's Spanish.
That's in Spanish, yeah. DC contra Vampires.
Vampiros, is it? Vampiros or
Vampiros, yes. Vampiros, yeah. What else have I got here? So I've also.
Are you planning to read them in Spanish? Are you learning? You know Spanish, or
I'm afraid. Hola and dos cervezas, por favor, which is 2 beers, please.
2 beers, yeah. Joe's eyes.
So then I bought a couple of trade paperbacks. One of my favourite comics from last year was We Live, and written by the Miranda brothers. They're Spanish background. So here is We Live trade paperback.
That's not all about animals, is it? Is it about animals or dogs or something?
No, it's not. It's a sort of dystopian. It's a dystopian future type thing.
Right.
But the artwork is unbelievably great. And in the back of this, they've got all the. There's a sort of thing with all the alternate covers that they did for the.
Right. I've not read it. I've probably seen it in somebody else's videos. The name really,
I really recommend it. There's a sort of second series out this year. It's nowhere near as good as the first one.
Right. I've been reading a few bits online. Like I just read Silver Coin online as well. I wouldn't go out and buy it.
Good.
I thought I'd read. It was such a quick read though. Literally, I read all 14 issues in like that couple of hours or something.
Yeah,
really
that's possible.
Quick reads, didn't they? Like modern comic book, I
Coin.
want to pay $4.99 or something for a single issue because you can read them like like nobody's business.
I agree, but I've enjoyed Silver Coin. That was also
it's all right, it's decent, but I prefer to read it online for nothing than to.
I think We Live you can find online. Have a read of We Live, the first series. It's really impressive. And then finally, I'm a big Alan Moore fan. Watchmen was one of the sort of things that really sort of I was into comics, and then Watchmen came out and convinced me comics was for adults, not just kids. And I bought the Spanish edition of Watchmen.
Okay. I was intrigued to find out what Watchmen was in Spanish, but apparently it's just Watchmen.
Yeah, unfortunately. Actually, I think it's Vigilantes. So if you look on the back, the phrase in Watchmen is who watches the Watchmen.
Yeah. That's originally from Latin, isn't it? That's actually a translation of a Latin phrase, isn't it? Who watches the Watchmen? I'm sure, yeah.
I think it is. I think you're right. I think it's probably from Cicero or something like that. But Watchmen, Quian Vigila a los Vigilantes. And I mean, it's just you must have you've read Watchmen.
Loads, mate, loads.
The art by Dave Gibbons. There's quite a few panels. This is classic here, where there's no text on that whole page.
Yeah.
And the art just tells the story. And Alan Moore just really keyed in with Dave Gibbons on this and produced one of the classics, I think, of
definitely
comic literature. So I've now determined that I'm going to get a copy of The Watchmen in every language, in every country that I visit over the next few years. So,
only ones you visit, you're not going to get people sending to you from other countries. Like you can
I'm going to buy
Matilda send you one from Israel, and you can read it backwards.
Well, if she wants to, she can.
It costs a lot of money by postage, I bet.
Yeah, so I'm intending to buy a copy of Watchmen in every language I can find in every country that I go to.
Yeah, my copy of Watchmen I got, gosh knows how long ago, but I don't know. When did it come out? 88 or something?
86.
So I probably got about 88, 89. I've still got that one. It's like all like. It's all right. It's well read. Let's put it that way. It's rather worn. I did consider getting a new copy of it, but I'm just like, nah, I can't bother. Just stick with that one. Every now and again, I read it. I thought the film was great. I like the film.
The film was good, actually.
One of the best superhero creations into a movie that I ever saw. But I've got a really stupid thing. I think I mentioned this before. I can't remember what stream I was in. But when I watch something, even though I know what's going to happen, I kind of hope it's going to be different this time. And I'm like, I got to the bit where Rorschach's going to get killed. I go, no, don't kill Rorschach this time. And I do that. The other thing that I do that in all the time is Boromir from Lord of the Rings. I used to we used to watch the cartoon version of it like religiously. Like every lunchtime we'd watch it, quote it to each other, like kids at home. And like every time Boromir's about to get killed, I'm like, no, don't let Boromir get killed this time. But he always does. I don't know. I think it's going to change. I know it's not going to change. But if it did change, I'd be rather. I think I'd be in some weird alternate world or something. That would be a bit disturbing. But yeah. Oh well. Anyway, anything else you got to show us?
That's it. That's my Spanish haul.
Yeah. What about reading? Have you been doing much reading on the holes?
No reading at all. So mainly watching YouTube videos.
Drinking Cavazers.
And drinking. Yeah.
Are you on a driving tour? Are you like you got a?
Yeah, we're driving. We've got a motorhome.
Motorhome, right?
Yeah, so we just drive. We haven't pre-booked anything, so if we like somewhere, we stay.
That's cool.
We loved San Sebastian, so we stayed 5 days. We don't like Bilbao, so we're staying only 1 day.
Okay, that's a good way to do it. Yeah, just plan it as you go and like play it by ear. As I always like to do that.
Yeah, it's the advantage.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's our own one. Yeah, so we bought it a couple of years ago. You
drove all the way to Spain then? Did you?
No, we got the ferry from Portsmouth to Santander. And so
I think they could get a ferry all the way to Spain. I didn't realize you could do that.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, they're not very frequent. They're only twice a week.
Right, that's cool. Anyway, what are you up to, Carl? You got anything new this week you want to show off?
Well, no, just kind of following along the conversation. when I follow along, I like this layout, and I also like the fact we all like the Watchmen movie because so many people panned it for what it didn't have in it, and it's like, yeah, but it was a great comic book movie.
Everything they changed made sense. I was like, I would rather have been a giant squid monster, to be honest, because I thought the giant squid monster was cool. But the fact that they made it Dr. Manhattan being the perceived threat, it made sense. It still made sense, you know. So
is that a Sergio you got?
Yes, I've got the Mighty Magnor, and that's great. And there's a lot of I've got quite a lot of Sergio stuff.
Do you got the signed edition of that?
I have not.
I've got one Mighty Magnor comic, and I've got a series called Bogeyman or Boogeyman as well by him, like a 4-parter for Image.
Yeah, that's my Argones autograph that I.
Oh, nice! I haven't got anything signed by Sergio. It's I would.
You got about 100 Mad magazines recently as well, didn't you? You must have a lot of Sergio stuff in there.
I've got a load of magazines, yeah, and there's lots of Sergio. He worked for Matt when he came from Spain. The story goes. When he was young, I think he was sort of 18, 19. He came over from not Spain, was it? Anyway,
I don't know. He arrived. I didn't know. I wasn't sure.
I think it was. Anyway, he arrived in New York. He got absolutely no money, nothing whatsoever, and he'd seen Mad Magazine, and he sought out the officers of Mad Magazine, and he walked in with some portfolio of his work, and he showed them his work, and they said, well, yeah, okay, we're interested. He was literally 18, 19, I think. I had nowhere to stay, and he stayed Mexico. He actually stayed in the Mad Magazine offices in New York. That's where he lived.
Yeah, I thought he stayed with Al Jaffe for a little while, and they got him on his feet. So
He did all right for himself, didn't he?
Should I put this on the Mark trade pile?
You can definitely put that on the Mark trade pile. We're gonna have a discussion when I get back home to what goes on. To what goes on the Kyle trade pile.
It's got to be the Kyle pile.
I've got my Avengers. I've got my Avengers UK with the first. What's his name? Power Man.
Wonder Man.
Yeah, I know you're interested in that one.
This one ain't nothing to trade and block, but I figured I'd just show it up anyway since we were talking about my old Popeyes. How about one of the feature books?
Let me put you on a proper big screen if you're showing some stuff. Go for it.
How has that survived in a condition like that? That is amazing.
It's got a chunk missing out of the corner and it's separated, but yeah. And the kid's name who had it written on it. But
how old is that kid now? They're still even alive. What year was that book?
1936.
Right, blimey. Older than my dad anyway. But yeah.
So as far as comic books goes, where they're just the books, they're the actual bound like this. This is like one of the first 20, 25 comic books that were proper comic books.
In that style, in that like.
When they came down like this, when New Funnies, there's like a half a dozen issues of New Funnies. There's a couple of. There's a feature book before this, but there are very few books that predate this.
Has the logo been coloured in as well, or is it meant to be blue? It looks like it's like a scratchy blue. Someone coloured it in, or was it originally white or something?
No, it's just the cover scratchy. The back cover is the same as the front cover. It's just kind of scratched and worn a little bit.
Yeah.
But the back cover is same as the front.
I need to. Anytime someone says amazing, I should play this. Great, amazing. Yeah, that would get annoying really quickly, wouldn't it?
It would. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we can go into this, and I can just. This won't. Since it has red on it, it can't be in the black and white slingers. But we got 33 Mickey Mouse sitting next to me.
Hey, look, I think you might catch on, guys. Look, Zoe and Pops has said amazing as well. He wants to see the Great Asian spin again.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Kal-El,
all right.
Can you not just show something like that, which is incredible, and then take it away again without us having had a chance of looking at it? Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Just tell us what that is. That is Mickey Mouse Magazine.
Volume 1, number 2.
1933 is that?
December 1933, Volume 1, number 2.
Wow. Okay. And it's got Santa on it and Mickey Mouse.
I need to make some great emojis.
This is what predated Walt Disney Comics and Stories and Mickey Mouse Magazine. And these were the premium giveaways from 1933.
What's the interior like? Is it comic panels or is it just little stories, like text stories?
Are you ready? I'm going to take it out the wrapper.
Wow, careful.
Even though for its age, it's considered a high grade.
So what's that?
Only number 1 is our number 2.
So
these were
advertising milk. Is that right? So it says the Detroit. So is it a promotional thing?
Yeah, these were promotional giveaways. Now, they did a lot of these Mickey Mouse promotional giveaways in the mid-30s with dairies and stuff like that.
The only promotional giveaway I've got is the Superman computer one from like when inserted in practically every comic book in a certain month.
And what started the DC Comics and things like that were the Gulf Oil and Standard Weekly premium giveaways where they condensed the Sunday funnies down and wanted to see if it'd sell, and it sold. So then they folded it in half and made it a comic, and it turned into new funnies.
So Kyle, how many of those do you think exist?
Of this issue?
Yeah.
Less than 100.
Yeah, I think so too.
Probably just because there were probably loads of them at the time, but like they would get thrown away, wouldn't they? We were thinking probably
they were
recycled during the war
throwaway.
or just thrown away, yeah.
They were quite literally throwaways, but I've got the premiums like that. Hell, I got issue number 4 up over my shoulder in a giveaway box going up to Montreal shortly. And then, before, here, I'll pull this one out of here too. Before comics got like feature books, they'd actually do little kid books that are actual books.
Yeah.
And this is the first Little Orphan Annie.
Wow.
That collected Little Orphan Annie.
What date's on that, Kyle?
From, see if we can get this thing clear enough here.
1926
is that?
1926.
1926, yeah.
My goodness.
So that's 1926 on that one. So that's, we're stepping back in time with comics history there.
Yeah.
But again,
Adolf Hitler was just a small child then.
Now, since 1920,
that's an unusual one to choose. He could have chosen anyone. You went with him.
Let's try and keep these in.
I suppose he's quite a well-known person from history, so yeah.
If we're going backwards, then the ones I showed off the other day. Now I'm not pulling these out because they have to be wrapped different. But these are the first 2 Whitman comic books from 1922. So, and I got to wrap them funny because nothing fits them, so I got to wrap them snug and funny. So I can't just randomly pop these out without making.
Kyle, those are sort of like historic grade comics and magazines. I mean, they almost should be in a museum.
Yeah, I do hear that a lot when it comes to my collection. I hear the word museum quite a lot. Let's see, where are we going back from?
You should do a room tour sometime. Those are always quite popular with people. I think you've got a bit of a mess, rather. I got the feeling your room might be a bit like mine. What's the floor like? You actually got walk spaces. You have to step in little puddles of uncluttered room.
Well, I've got
across. So
we've still got the kids here. They're finishing up buying their new house, and we're gonna get a lot more room again. But the kids are putting the final paperwork down on their house and scooting out of here. And then I've got this big library to myself again. And yeah, I wouldn't slab these things with a gun to my head. So yeah,
why would you?
Standard 19 teens and 1920s. Square bound format.
Moon Mullins.
Okay, Kyle, you've got to stop doing this throwaway stuff. So probably
we're running out of
those things.
I can't do it too much.
You need to ration us. Because each of those is, I want to ask questions about, and we haven't got time to. You need to ration.
I'll bring him back up. We'll ask about him because I'm going to tell about this one. Because this one, this is a newer one. This is 1928. This is more than likely going to John Bishop because there's a 1928 store sticker.
Okay.
So John Bishop collects store stickers, so I'm going to get that to him.
1928.
But this is a Moon Mullins, and then we can come back to the.
Are these like reprints from newspaper strips? Like
basically, that's the whole concept of it. These are they're original stories occasionally thrown in. But yeah, these are all the strip reprint kind of things. Yeah. Where did I slide things down? Here's something you don't see every day comparing the
top of your head. I see that quite a bit.
Yeah, we've seen the top of your head, Carla.
A number of times.
How about Moon Mullins?
That's what you just showed.
Platinum and Moon Mullins Tijuana Bible.
Oh, okay. We best not go slipping through that one.
and then the top of my head.
I take it Moon Mullin gets his rocket out.
But yeah, he does actually.
Yeah.
So and puts it to her. But yeah, that's series 2.
Mullins.
Yeah.
Some bringing up fathers in here from the
Moon Mullins fires his rocket to Uranus probably on that one. We don't need to see that.
1919. George McManus bringing up fathers. And they did these annually, so they didn't come out much.
I got a feeling I've heard that phrase before, bringing up father. Maybe just from the comic series. It wasn't that kind of a radio show or nothing like that.
No, I think there was
literally was a comic strip turned into a book, turned into a radio show, turned into a TV show, turned into a
yeah, it was a TV show. I remember a TV show called Bringing Up Father. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then if you want to go back a little bit further than that and formatted without grabbing out my big books.
There must be a word for people who are getting like jealous for not having comic books so old. I'm thinking my comics are all far too new now. I think my oldest is like 1950.
So
that's
Kyle,
my oldest one.
Yes.
Yeah. Foxy Grandpa. Is that you?
That's me.
Yeah. Playing ball. Yeah. Not on stream, I hope.
This is an actual linen book. It's not going to go anywhere. It's got some old stains on it and stuff, but this thing is sturdy and durable.
You say it was linen? Did you say it was linen or
the slingers I've ever seen? But Foxy Grandpa came out in the early 1900s. And he had oversized books in 1904, 1905. This is the 1908.
Foxy Grandpa sounds like the worst blaxploitation movie ever.
So, but yeah, one of the first. I mean, this quite literally is an early comic book.
Wow, that is really great.
But is there any foxing on that Foxy Grandpa?
Yeah, there's a lot of it, which is ironic.
Yeah.
I mean, since 1908 just doesn't seem far enough back.
So here we go. Where's that 1885 one gone?
Oh, I'm getting there. I'm working my way back. Let me cover that one up, and then
a few words have had their meanings changed over the years, haven't they? Some within the space of a couple of decades.
How about some?
Someone's just said this is the dullest cover slingers ever. It's a bit one-sided.
It's true.
1896 comic-sized book, even though again this is mostly advert. But Palmer Cox's Busy Brownies.
Bully Brownies.
Offense, mate. It's just true.
But this technically, as far as I have not seen one older than this.
Is that Busy Brownies? Or
Busy Brownies. There's a pair out of that right there. Yeah. I have never seen nor heard of an older book than this in this format.
Okay.
In this short page format where there's just stories, but again, it's mostly an advert. But this one gets as close to the earliest comic book size one I've seen. Yeah, and then we get into the brownies back in these old.
The thing is, having Carl on the stream is that I don't want to show any of my comics now. He's going to be like, yawn. Bugger off, Ray. We don't want to see your comics. Bugger off.
Yeah, I'm glad I did mine first.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, that was an old box sitting off to the side with me there, so I won't delve any deeper with those. But
Kyle, you need to save some up because we're just as mind blown.
I think you need to really work on like a rather than doing streams like we were saying earlier off before we started. You should work on doing like themed videos. So you can think like these are your 1880 comic books, 1890, and really do some research and find out as much as you can about them and sort of.
Well, I am the research guide. I am the young guy in that, but I am the source material for a lot of Platinum and Victorian age knowledge. I've been asked to be a resource on books for like 25 years.
So this
I just did say no.
There's only one person watching them, so at least doing them here, it gets 5 more people. So it's like, woohoo!
Yeah. But yeah,
right.
so
Some very boring and not very good books there from Kyle.
Never heard of any of them. I've never heard of any of them. Who wants to see that rubbish? God,
yeah, there's no superhero stuff there at all.
Hey,
rubbish. So
want to talk new superhero stuff? I will gladly.
brownies and grandpas and all a load of other old
yeah.
Like
can you top Foxy Grandpa Grey?
Foxy, no. I'll show you what I've got this week, though.
What have you got this week?
I will make a video of it at some point as well, actually. It's good, but I'm just for a bit of content. So I've got a couple of old Superboys. Nice little Superboy there. There you go. Nice. There's a Foxy Grandpa. Look, Superman's turned into a Foxy Grandpa. For what you did to me, Superboy, hear my dying curse. From this moment on, every super deed you perform will bring you closer to your grave. Ah, yeah.
Nice.
And 1 minute more and Superboy dies of kryptonite unless you give in to our demands. Mutiny of the damned. There you go. Nice.
Those are in quite nice condition.
I know. These are quite nice. For I don't often get them that. I'm low grade all the way, mate. If I can get them low grade, I'm quite happy to get them. And this is just one that you threw in for nothing. Yeah, less said about that one, the better.
Yeah.
A couple of Sumerian, which is like Conan, but not called Conan. It's called the Sumerian.
Oh, yeah.
And part 1 and 2. I was actually after a different one, and I saw this guy had these as well, so I just threw them into the mix. I just needed part 2 of Red Nails because I had part 1 already, and this is perfect because when the cover slingers choice of ometer goes round and it comes to boobs week, I think I've got my cup running over. On this one,
your cup runneth over on that one. Yeah,
as much as her cups do. Yeah, practically. But anyway, so that's quite cool. And an old school Conan. He looks really weird on that cover. I don't know.
He does. Yeah, I've got that one. Yeah,
Armando Gill. That's Armando Gill artwork.
He looks more like Slane from 2000 AD having a warp spasm.
Yeah.
And you got a Hulk.
Hulk and Silver Surfer, is it?
No, it's Ironclad from the UFOs. Okay. I believe, and this is the best one, possibly the nicest one. I've seen this on a few. I think it's been shown on Slingers before, and I keep seeing people posting it on Facebook and that. And I just, it's only so many times you can look at a great cover before you go, oh man, I've got to find out how I can get one of those for cheap.
Yeah.
And so it's a House of Mystery 205. It's this awesome rolling down the river.
Nice.
Coughing,
that is nice. Yeah.
That's just a really great, really beautiful cover. My one's got like a massive slash all the way down the side. It's held on, I think, possibly by one staple you mustn't breathe on. But, I don't care. I've got the cover and I've got the story inside to read. And maybe I'll turn it into one of my Halloween videos that I do. I'm currently working on my Halloween videos. I've got 2 done already. And Matilda's done me a voiceover for the 3rd one. I'm not sure how many I'll get round to doing.
What issue of Hulk was that? See if I can.
That was 401, I believe. 401.
Just a little before Liam Sharp came on, and that's the latest one I'm working on for popping on here with us.
Okay.
So Liam Sharp is going to be a soon-to-be announced guest. JMD Mateus. JMD Mateus is coming on the 9th.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Get your questions ready.
Yeah, we're only going to get him in the 2nd hour because
that's fine.
And we're his last show before he severs it he squeezed us in. Okay. He's on a Kickstarter bender now. I see that thing on that where Patton Oswald was hyping it real big.
Yeah.
But he promised me, so the last leg of this virtual tour, we're it. We're his stuff. Cool.
Saving the best till last, eh? He says.
Liam Sharp's in the works.
Yeah,
I fully expect Neil Gaiman to make an appearance.
Sorry, did you say William Shatner?
William. No,
I'm not even going to make an effort to get Shatner on here, but.
Did you say that? I missed that. I didn't catch him saying that.
No.
I don't believe nothing until I see it, but we'll wait and see.
William Shatner would appear at the opening of a packet of crisps
for $5,000.
Yeah,
I'm not giving a guy $5,000. I'm not paying for their.
You got $5,000. You can get.
I'm not handing him that kind of money just to show up.
No, definitely not.
So
I've got a Star Trek 1 slabbed, signed by Shatner.
All right.
And when I checked it up, there's actually more signed copies than there are unsigned copies.
Well, he's done so many conventions, hasn't he?
Are you a Star Trek fan, Mark?
Yeah, I like Star Trek. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I got something to show you.
Oh, he's got.
I don't mind a bit of Star Trek. I don't mind it. I think I possibly prefer Star Trek to Star Wars. I'm not really not that fussed. I can't say I've ever come with I'm not one for making lists of preferences that much, but
I've always been Star Trek over Star Wars for me. I like Star Wars as well, but if
I thought, to be honest, like I've said, I had some controversial views, but I preferred Flash Gordon to Star Wars. You know what I mean?
It's an interesting story about. Oh, nice.
Hold on, let me put you on big.
Ooh.
So if you've got the technical manual, why haven't you built one yet?
Yeah, and
this, by the way, is the first training command. This is the 1976.
I might have a 1976 Star Trek annual.
75.
Possibly.
First print, November 1975.
Wow.
So, I don't know. Should this be on the Mark trade pile?
Yeah, well, yeah, but the problem is there's more on my side of it than there is on your side of it. So we're gonna struggle to make it even. I'm probably gonna have to send you my
Should I get the other thing out? That's the main thing on the trade pile. Should people see that?
No, because if you show it, somebody else will offer you something.
He showed it. He showed it practically every stream anyway. I think he's shown it practically every stream. He's offered it to me about 5 times.
Yeah, I'm an old Marine. My word is bond. My integrity. Okay. But it's going to you. It's going to you. But you get the Batman 15.
First refusal, yeah.
So yeah,
that's a good point. Maybe it fell through a wormhole in some kind of.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if I'm offered more money or whatever. It's like nope.
Before you show me that, I'm going to tell you a Star Trek story. Okay.
Okay.
So back in time, so Dino De Laurentiis owned the rights to Flash Gordon. Okay. And 2 filmmakers came to Dino De Laurentiis trying to get the film rights to Flash Gordon. Okay. The first was Frederick Fellini, believe it or not. And he didn't get the rights from Dino De Laurentiis. Do you know who the second was?
Alfred Hitchcock.
George Lucas. George Lucas tried to buy the rights to Flash Gordon before he did Star Wars.
Yeah.
So if he'd got Flash Gordon, we'd never have got Star Wars because he would have done Flash Gordon instead. And we'd never have got the great Flash Gordon film with
Sam Jones. What do I have in common with Sam Jones, who played Flash Gordon?
Well, were you a Playboy model?
The bodyguard, right?
I wasn't a Playgirl model, though I did model nude. He was a bodyguard, but we
don't want to see that, mate. We don't want to see that. Your mate's in the back office. If you
he was a Marine like me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's a
bodyguard as well. I thought he was a bodyguard as well. You've done a bit of.
Yeah, he did some bodyguard work. It's part and parcel. You can almost cut us all from the same cloth. You know, the pretty boys went to acting. The ones that weren't pretty went into acting, like Adam Driver. I still can't wrap my head around how he's an actor. So,
do you want to give an intro to your mate? Do you want to come straight in now?
Is Johnny in? Is the great Johnny Reisler here?
Is he in the back office? Is ready to bring him in now? Yeah.
A grand man I have been dying to introduce to people for a long time. And like I said, I call this man my best friend. Montreal John.
Okie dokie.
Oh.
Hello.
Truly love this guy.
Can you hear us all right?
Can you hear us, babe? Can you hear us? Are you muted?
Can't hear you.
Are you Marcel Marcelin?
Yeah, I think so. Do that bit where you walk
doing
against
the Marcel Do
the trapped in the box thing.
Welcome to Montreal.
Yay!
Montreal, Canada.
We can hear him now. Oh, are you high up? Oh gosh, not for me, thanks.
That's his apartment. And while he's doing that and we're talking, I'm actually going to go take a breather here and take this with me.
Nonsense. I want to get into the stream of the discourse so that I can reveal much happiness and nonsense, which is my bag. But
all right, you're breaking up a little bit. You're a bit hard to hear. I think I've got every second word or something now. I wasn't too sure what was going on. So you like a bit of silliness, and I think that's what I heard. And did you say nonsense? Like a bit of surreal weirdness, yeah. You get your Christmas decorations up already, Kyle?
Some of my favorite people from around the world here. And while we're all talking here, I'm dragging my whole setup outside so I can sit down different and have a smoke.
Oh,
so I can make it right through this
thing. I'll put you off to the toilet for a second, then I was starting to get worried.
No. No. Bringing the dog out for a minute, taking a breather, coming out of the hot library.
Let's have a word with John then. While you relocate yourself, if we can.
I'm relocated. I'm loving this because you guys are some of my favorite people on planet Earth.
All right, let's have a word with John then, because he's just got here. How do you know Kyle, John?
I think oddly enough, Kyle commented on a post that I had on Facebook, and I just said, "Hell, that's a really nice post, man." Messaging each other, and it's got 4 years now, Kyle.
More than that.
Really?
More than that. Yep.
Anyhow, so I found out and
your sound's cutting out hard, buddy.
Yeah, it's cutting out a bit.
All right. How's that?
There you go.
Might be better.
So I found out that Kyle had comic books. And I said to myself, who has these things? Right? And then I thought to myself, oh, geez, I have some myself.
Okay.
So Kyle actually recommended that I do a small reveal today to you fellas, but I feel like I'm just kind of like this drunkard at a party who showed up and wrote, knocked a little champagne on your lapels, and you're like saying, like, get the fuck away, man.
We're all about people coming to show us their comic books. Carl's been picking up your collection, so we're all looking forward to seeing it.
Okay, so great. Where do you come from?
I live in London.
London. And Mark?
Yeah, I'm just outside London. I'm in the posh bit, is in the slums.
Not in that imitation London you've got in Canada. I've heard there's an imitation London in Canada. It's all made up London, like you Canadians have got. It's proper London, England.
I don't go for them because I'm actually a British North American.
Right.
Okay? Which means that I'm an Anglophone living in a French province. Are you
bad luck?
Star Trek fans?
Yeah, we like a bit of Star Trek, definitely.
Okay. So if I may, the Quebecois are very much like the Ferengi. Okay. So as an Anglophone, having to deal with, first Francophones, as you know, very similar to the ones in France, but then you take the snoot from France and you add Ferengi into the mix, and you get the Quebecois.
Do all the women walk around?
Sounds delightful.
So, isn't that Ferengi thing?
You know what? They're actually quite amusing. Their cuisine is quite posh, and their women are very easy. So it makes for a fabulous place to be, as I refer to myself. Like I would love if this province just cut off from the rest of Canada and became a country already, because that's what drives their ego, because they need some sort of relevance, even though they lost the war hundreds of years ago.
They'd probably lose their identity if they got that, though. They'd be like, well, what do we do now?
Exactly. So they're always like, huffing and puffing if you put up a sign in English, which is absolutely. But if that's the greatest problem I have in my environment, then I'm rather comfortable, So Mark, what exactly is posh? Outside
posh. Yeah, so posh actually comes from originally comes from people used to go on cruises. So it stands for port out, starboard home.
Well, no,
so
I want to know what your district.
So my definition of posh. That's a good. So my definition of posh is either you were born into the aristocracy,
right,
or you are nouveau riche. In other words, you've come into money, and you spend that money lavishly on expensive clothing and houses and cars.
He says
and
from Spain.
you look down. You look down on everybody else.
So that's what you're saying, is that you're looking down on Gray because
he is, look, literally
from this little place.
I thought you were from Sheffield, Mark.
Fancy, right?
Yeah, I am from Yorkshire. Yes, well, don't mention that.
Oh yeah.
All right, I just want to know.
That's what all posh Yorkshire people do. Move out of Yorkshire at the first opportunity.
Yeah.
When he earned his first 100 blinking quid, he was like, "I'm out of Yorkshire. I'm going down south."
John, you've ruined my posh credentials.
but isn't it all about the football team though?
No, not really.
No.
Most people tend to watch rugby rather than football.
Yes.
Okay. Just to let you know, I'm a very, very minor football fan. But if I the team, it would be Man City.
Oh dear!
And not because they were good recently, but because my maternal grandfather came from Manchester.
Right.
And United is just.
United is for the people outside of Manchester to support. You don't get many people in Manchester to support United.
I think United is for teetoddlers.
Graham's got to talk me out of my favorite team when we found out recently that I was a Tottenham Hotspur fan.
Right.
And that just makes him cringe. So he's got to talk me out of that fan.
No.
We're certainly way off topic. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the topic.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You'd slide right in like a puzzle piece. I wasn't kidding.
Let me.
So you took us there from English snobbery,
right,
through football.
Right.
So yeah, that's quite a lot of topic there.
Get a good gauge on my new mates.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to ask both Mark and Gray, and we'll go with Gray first because he's less of an elitist.
Unless it's heavy metal, I'm a heavy metal elitist. Like, that's not metal. This is metal, that kind of thing. But yes, it's a different topic.
I'm a three chord Clash City rocker who takes 2 minutes to write a song and less time to play it.
Right.
But tell me which comic books you would like me to show you first, and I'll be glad to start indulging you.
Okay, I'm easy, mate. Whatever you want to show, but go with DC. That's my most favorite of the companies.
You're a horror EC guy?
Yeah, that might horror EC. Yeah.
DC.
Okay,
he said DC.
You're shit out of luck.
He said DC.
Mark, what do you want?
I said DC.
He said DC.
Oh, DC.
DC. Yeah.
As in very bad films on the horizon, DC.
Yeah,
except for Black Adam.
They're all fine. All the DC movies have been fine. They've been perfectly fine. Just foolish people who want to slag them off all the time. That's what I say anyway.
Right. And Mark, are you Marvel?
I'm I'm eclectic, so I'm bi. I like to swing both ways. So
this is not the forum to be coming out on, mate.
He's lucky Pierre to me and Graham here.
I like a bit of DC. I like a bit of Marvel. I like a bit of indie, and I like a lot of. I'm a bit of a. Kyle showed us some, old 1930s, 1920s stuff, and I really like quite a lot of old stuff as well. So, I'm all over the place.
Speaking of which, they were just talking about Flash Gordon, so keep that in mind.
Okay, I'll pull those out right away.
Okay.
Flash Gordon. What do I have of Flash Gordon?
I am straight up watching their faces for this one.
You know,
Get him on the big screen. I'm watching you guys' faces for this one.
were you talking Flash Gordon or were you talking Buck Rogers?
Or Buck
I was actually going to mention Buck Rogers because we talked about sci-fi, and I was
predates Flash Gordon.
Yeah, I was going to mention Buck Rogers.
Did you know that they're actually the same person?
Are they?
Really?
Technically, yeah. Technically so.
Actually, yeah, man. You know, it's tough work back then.
Flash is a rough knockoff of Buck Rogers.
Yeah, they all like take off each other, didn't they? Really?
Okay.
I think
a radio show. We've lost him. There was a radio show. I can't remember what it was called now. I think it was maybe Steve Canyon or something like that. He was like a space pilot or something.
Steve Canyon came after Buck Rogers, though.
Yeah, but he was a space guy, wasn't he?
How am I able to over my
put it sideways? It should go full screen if you put it sideways. I think that's what usually happens. That didn't work for Mark. Oh, it's worked for you. Good. Okay.
Now what?
Now he's trying to figure out how to flip his camera around so he can show the camera instead of his face.
Oh, I see.
I think just show the book with your pretty face, man.
There's normally a reverse kind of button.
Okay.
I say keep it on its side so we can see your full screen there. So how you had it was tilted, so we can see the full screen rather than just the middle bit. There you go. You've got your full screen, so you can climb up on one side.
Now I gotta watch their jaws on this one.
2001: Space Odyssey.
No, not. I need something to go bum 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 bum
Wait a minute. If it's Flash Gordon, we've got to have Queen. Flash.
This is Buck Rogers.
Okay, I don't remember the music for Buck Rogers. Amazing stories.
That's the actual first Buck Rogers.
Wow. Is that a pulp magazine or is that
That's a pulp.
It's a pulp.
Oh,
I wasn't sure where he first came around.
Come here, Buck. Come here, Buck.
That's cool.
Come on.
What?
Adam Strange is
scene.
Yeah, so.
Yeah,
so.
It's all right.
John,
I had to come take a breather.
John, don't do it
too hot up there.
So it's something amazing.
I'll see you outside.
Huh? Yeah.
Fantastic.
I'll be on for a while. Come on, say hi. My son wants to come on and say hi. Oh yeah. So what's that? What's that? Oh no.
That's a bloody chunky boy, isn't it? That one. Was that an anthology or is that another? What's the year on that? What's the? Whoopsie.
This
you get stand for your phone.
It's a fall 1948.
Oh wow! Is that how it originally came out? Or is that like a collection of?
It's a quarterly. Yeah, it was like I guess
50 cents for that big boy. Jeez.
Now you had mentioned Buck Rogers specifically, right?
Yeah, most of them.
Hunt that down.
That's what you showed us, wasn't it? Wasn't that backwards you showed us a second ago?
That was Buck Rogers. That was the first Buck Rogers. But you're saying
Flash. We said Flash as well, yeah.
Really nice Flash Gordon stuff too.
And these are the ones. When did you get these? I mean, are these recent acquisitions, or have you had these for a long time?
Oh, you know what? It's hard to really put a handle on where I got any one thing. Because I mean, I've just been picking up stuff left, right, and center, and gotta find out. But while we're looking, I'll pull out a good stack of some nice sci-fi stuff. We'll get a little kick out of. So here's a Buck Rogers number 5.
Okay, cool. Buck Rogers. Is it in the 25th century, isn't it? In the 25th century, or is it 24th century? I can't remember now.
Duck Dodgers in the 25th century.
Duck Dodgers of the 24th and a half century, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a Weird Science.
Weird Science, cool. Fantasy. Is that EC Weird Science?
Yeah. Yep.
Weird Science. It's a great logo.
Comic bomb cover. Quite popular these days, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, I see the bomb. Yeah, I thought it was a blinking pinball, blinking mushroom for a second. No, it's a blinking bomb.
It seems that we started to take out the Gulf of Mexico, and I don't know why.
All right.
Must be an integration issue.
Maybe the wall didn't work, so they thought, yeah, what's the second best?
It's a beauty.
Venus.
Wow.
Red dress.
Oh, you're killing me with that one.
Me too. John, have you had these for a long time, or have you recently acquired them, or what?
I would say I've had them for in between decade and some of these I got last year. So what's the last 6 years or so?
Earth Man on Venus, is that? Giant ant monster.
And he literally is on Venus.
Yeah, cool. Lovely. We can cover that one. Number 1. An Earth Man on Venus. Have you got anything you can lean your phone on, a shelf or something, and you can you can just concentrate both hands on your comics then, and we won't get so seasick.
Yeah, it's just that I'm handling them as I go along.
Yeah, I just want to be easier to show it off. Like, yeah, cool. Forbidden Worlds.
Really nice. These look in really good condition as well.
Do you know the artists on these covers? Are you into all the information on them?
No.
Oh, nice action comic. Oh, another bomb one. Superman covers atom bomb test. What issue number is that?
I'm all about the atom bombs today.
That's 101, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's 101.
Yeah.
101. Submariner. Take it as a time there, take it. Is it a different Submariner? Is that a different Submariner? Is that? Oh no, he is there. I see him now. Yeah.
No, there he is. Yeah.
Yeah, I see him. Namor.
Wow.
Oh, Namora.
That's Namorita.
It says Namora there.
Or Namora. Her daughter was Namorita.
Yeah, so I was thinking, Namorita was more recent.
His illegitimate daughter is Namorita.
Yeah. I thought it was his niece or something. Yeah, I can't remember Namorita, yeah.
With a Spaniard, but he can't admit to it.
Okay. Well, that's a nice one.
Whoa! What number is that?
142.
It's a terrible crossword, but it's a great cover.
I love that cover.
Yeah,
I've never seen that before.
That's got to be an old Riddler, isn't it?
Yeah, second appearance of the Riddler.
Wow.
This is my personal favorite.
Okay. Tarzan.
Tarzan, is that Tarzan 1?
Yep.
This is the single series number 20. It's the compilation of the newspaper strips.
Okay.
It's also known as a rather iconic book, and I'm going to explain why. Because in my youth, I was but a young lad. I bought a comic book price guide when I was 9. It was by Kal-El Cohen, and it was running alongside maybe Overstreet in its time. So here's great authority on all collectibles. And this is the price guide. Now, on the cover, you have some key issues. And right next to Superman number 1 is the
Tarzan.
Wow.
Number 20.
Yeah.
So, growing up, I naturally assumed that the single series was every bit as important as Marvel number 1 or Superman number 1. And in today's market, you can pick up a half decent copy of this. First of all, the problem is that it's next to impossible to find. I've had 3 copies in my life. My first copy I sold on eBay in the early 90s for like $600. And it's no problem because I'll just upgrade. And it was a pretty low grade copy. It took me find another copy that was for sale online in any shape or form. So I bought it. It came in. I sent it off to PGX. Get a grade. No disappointment, but it came back a 2. And I was kind of iffy about keeping it. Anyhow, so this cat sent me an email, and he has a Tarzan museum in Florida. And I know that I remember you're the guy who won that book. Do you want to sell it? This was like 6 months later. So I said, yeah, sure, no problem. Because I wasn't too, I can get another copy. I know it took me a long time to purchase a copy. But yeah, I'll let it go. 9 years later, I found this copy. Okay. So it just goes to show you how hard it is when somebody has this book. They're very reluctant to let it go.
Yeah.
It's pretty not many around either, I think.
No, there's not a lot of them either, and that's another issue.
Yeah.
All right. So let me show you some other.
Well, they get into the hands of collectors, and collectors just don't let them go.
No. I bet. That's him not letting it go, yeah. Yeah, he's got his knife. A knife in one stream, a gun in the last stream we did. I didn't.
Like a real terrorist.
Comics are getting too violent for me, and I'm not talking about the comic books. Kyle disappeared.
Here's another cool Tarzan book.
Tip Top. Tarzan's in the sea.
Story. I don't know how to correct that.
Yeah. That's prices you paid for it on the corner there.
Classic shark cover.
Mm.
It astonishes me that he has such good lungs. Okay. So I don't think this is a beauty. Good old Sheena.
Oh yeah, Jumbo Comics. I know about Jumbo Comics because Jambo Comics channel shows them a lot. Sheena, is that the first one?
It's a Jumbo Comics 20. Any Jumbo under the 50 is very difficult to get.
That was a very strange header. Did it say the most of the best? Powwow Smith.
Oh. Wow. That is stunning. What number is that?
164.
Wow.
Purchased from Germany. It cost me $300 US.
Bargain.
Absolutely an absolute steal.
So what's the significance of Jumbo Comics #1?
It's an introduction of or first appearance of a certain character. I can't recall.
It has to do with the Count of Monte Cristo and Jack Kirby's first pro work.
Okay. Wow. The Mark of Zorro.
This is a 4-color number 228. It's a Zorro #1.
Mm. Wow. I used to like the old black and white TV show of Zorro. They used to play
the Mark
series
Zorro
show. Yeah. The Z all the time. And my Buck Rogers. Famous funnies.
That's a
Yep.
Some of the old covers they just look. So I don't know how to explain. They look like old covers, but I don't know what it is about that makes them look old. But you can say it's an old cover, don't you?
That's
look at the color. Look at the colours on that. They're as vibrant now as they were when it was produced. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's true.
And that's Frank Frazetta when he was a kid.
Was it? Wow.
Yeah. That's early Frazetta work.
Yeah, man.
So there's a few of those. I don't know. I'm just wondering if you're going to bust out the big biggies.
Superman. They're all big biggies.
These are all biggies.
Oh, it's a Japanese one.
Aha.
290 yen. That's probably the newest one you've shown so far, I think.
Now you see why we're buddies.
Lederlappen.
Lederlappen.
Robin.
What's
Finnish?
that? Finnish?
This is Swedish.
Swedish.
I was close.
That was our second guess.
And since we're doing things ish, like me, this is Jewish.
Jewish.
This is a Hebrew language Amazing Fantasy 15.
Wow.
No, you're joking.
All right, Kyle, since you said, I'm going to segue.
Yeah.
Who's squeaking? Okay, squeaking.
That's just birds chirping in the background on me. I'm going back upstairs in a minute. I had to come out and get some fresh air. Kids cleaning his car. So
when you're walking around on mute, you cut your finger for a bit.
I keep forgetting to, but I'll kill my mic when I trot upstairs again. You don't have to kill it for me.
Yeah, it cuts over. Oh, nice.
Okay. Hang on.
That's one of them facsimiles they always sell, isn't it?
All right.
Oh yeah, Stan Lee, you mentioned that one. You did say about that one, Carl.
John, is that worth more than your house?
I don't own a house anymore. My ex-wife took that away from me 4 years ago.
She took the house, but she left you with the Amazing Fantasy 15.
Thank God she left you the AF-15. Whew, blimey.
You don't laugh, okay? When we went into mediation, all my came up in discussion.
Oh, okay.
And I said to her, if you want this to go smoothly and get your half and get the fuck away from me, you better not even think about putting a finger on these books because you never put a fucking penny into them.
Yeah, good point.
She wasn't
one of these. She wasn't one of these Quebecy ladies. You said were easy then.
Actually, you'll appreciate this because you're Brits. She was an RG.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she was worse than the sheep in the Falklands. He was a shit lay.
Oh God. So my channel, believe it or not, is most viewed by Argentinians.
Stop. Hang on a minute. What are you showing us now? Is that the real thing?
Number one. It is bloody number one. Appearance 5.5. Is that extensive? Oh, she's stored. Oh, bloody hell. We'll let that go, shall we? It looks great.
Sure does.
Blimey.
Wow.
What restoration has it had? Does it say? Or
it's had the works. It was purchased from Harley Yee in 1993.
Right.
In the early 90s, I at one time had a complete run of Batman 1 to 300.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, do you need to step away and change your trousers?
Yeah, I know. I know.
I just feel like I'm never going to show another comic book again now. It just feels pointless. It's just like what is the point? It's like, what have I done with my life? You know what I mean?
Well,
I've
got now. We've got the first store, and
I've got very few big keys. Let's put it that way. I've got a few, but it's always good to see them, though.
And an amazing story with that one.
If you asked me today if I could reach into these pockets and pull out and buy any of these,
I'll
tell you emphatically that I am a comic rich and extremely poor man.
Yeah.
Comic rich, cash poor.
Listen, and of course everybody says, your comics are a currency and blah 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 blah.
They're not though. If you're not willing to get rid of them, like I can say to myself, well, I've got so much worth in comics, but I'm never going to get. I don't want everyone to get rid of them. So it's like they're not. They're just might as well be dust.
Anyhow, that's some of the best stuff that I've got.
Right, John. Yeah. I'm going to ask you a hard question now.
Sure.
If I was to strand you on a desert island and you could only keep one of those comics, which would it be?
I know which one.
I wouldn't take any of these. I know exactly which one I would take.
What would you take?
Well, since you're a DC fan,
big
Batman fan?
Yeah.
Okay, Detective 444.
Okay.
Detective 444. That's interesting.
Recent.
Super spectacular. It the first chapter of a 5-issue, I believe, from 444 to 448, Batman Murderer, where he's given a gun and it shoots by itself, and he reportedly kills Talia al Ghul.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
That story alone, 444 to 448, is the greatest Batman story ever told.
Okay, right. That's really interesting. So if you were on Desert Island, that's what you take with you. Batman 444 to 448. Very interesting.
And on top of it, I would save myself the having to schlep by getting DC Best of Blue Ribbon Digest, which covers that story.
There you go.
But if you took you also get the Golden Age reprints. So maybe I would go with the 100-page spec. Besides, Desert Island, these are that's it.
That's the one. I think I got that one just the other day. That one. I remember getting shot in the back. I think I literally just read that recently. It's a great cover as well.
Brilliant, brilliant.
So that's your favourite ever story, and of any comic book or just Batman?
It's the one that really sat with me when I was a kid. That and there's another one, Batman 259. It's somewhere in the middle of the 100-page spec run where it had a shadow cover.
Right.
Great.
As in the Shadow, the character, the Shadow, or
I'll pull it out. I have it.
So you guys enjoying this?
Yeah, it's great stuff. Great comics. Cool comics.
Scratching the surface.
Yeah, stuff you never see and stuff I'm never going to own.
Well, you say that, but then you know us, so you never know.
Nah, I don't think so.
Pardon my short-term memory. What book was I pulling out?
257 was it? Batman 259.
259. Yeah.
What about you, Mark? Let's put that question on you. We'll quickly put you on the big screen for a second while he's looking for that book. What comic would you take to the Desert Island with you? You don't like the Upham.
I need pre-warning of that, really.
You know how much pre-warning I don't need? Mine is sitting right next to me.
All right.
Mine is actually sitting there with me. That is what I'd take to a desert island with me.
Yeah.
Windows 92, signed by Ed Hannigan.
Oh, cool.
So here's the rest of that detective.
The Run. I think I've only got the first one. I haven't got them other ones yet.
This is an exceptionally beautiful book. Look at Jim Apparo's work on the skeleton inside the statue.
All right. He's not nowhere near as well respected as Adams, is he, Aparo? But I think his art is equally, if not better.
I like it. Yeah.
I've always liked Jim Apparo's work 100 times more than Neil Adams.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that he's not as well respected because it means his comic books aren't stupidly priced.
Exactly. Yeah.
In fact, what's interesting is this is one of the first books I ever bought as a child. I still own it.
Cool.
Yeah. Bought it when I was 9.
I think that's around about the time I bought my first comic books when I was about 9 years old, 1979.
I got to tell you, it astonishes me that I'm looking at Bronze Age books and saying to myself that these books are turning like 40 and 50. And it's like, and you know what? The thing is the younger set collector who's all bent on, buying slabs that are coming out next week and putting 800% markup on them sort of thing. I don't know how they perceive this stuff anymore. Like they might look at like something that I think is a $5 book and go, "Oh, dude, you got to get that graded. If you don't get that graded, it's a totally graded man grade." I'm so against grading culture because the book should be worth the same amount, whether it's graded or not. It's just not.
Guys, I'm gonna have to go. My wife is getting angsty, so I'm gonna.
Okay, mate.
Hey, Mark.
Great show. I'll see you again next week. Great to meet you, John.
What a pleasure.
Fantastic books.
Yeah.
See you later, mate.
Take care. All right, so it's just we three.
So, is he your favorite character then, Batman?
I don't, you know what? But growing up, because I was, put in the Halloween costume, I don't think I had much of a choice. But as I grew older, it's kind of like, you grow up, automatically liking the Beatles, and then you discover, your own band sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, gotta love the mainstream characters that are the cornerstones. I've always been very fond of Subby.
Right.
Because Subby hates everybody, and that's always fun.
Yeah.
And
back in the day, he was just an outright murderer, wasn't he? He didn't give a toss.
Well, wasn't he initially a villain?
Yeah, he was. But I didn't. It was a backup story in one of the comics, like FF or something like that, and like it reprinted his first appearance, and like he's like drowning deep sea divers and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, there's really not much to say other than he's even if he likes you, he doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Pokemon is none to this you guys got. I don't get it.
I think he's saying Pokemon's got nothing on you guys. He was saying earlier on he's Danish, so you might get words stuff around a bit. Apparently, that Swedish mag translates as leather page. That leather thing that you showed earlier on. There was a Swedish magazine you showed. It says it translates as leather page. Apparently.
Which one, Jen?
Yeah, the Swedish magazine, the way the Swedish Batman looked like.
Should I pull it out and we should take a look inside at the contents?
And if you want to. That leaves me on my own. That leaves me all alone on my own stream. What can I show? I can always show you these again. Patch. Oh, Pokemon is not a patch of what you guys have got. No. Okay, get you. Nice to miss you again. I was expecting to be left on my own.
Pokemon. How about some first edition?
What's his face?
Pokemon candy cards.
Oh,
Pokemon
is it cards? Yeah, okay.
Vending machine cards.
That weren't they
Japan.
called Pocket Monsters? Those are
Pocket Monster, yeah.
Yeah.
Pocket Monsters.
Yeah, there's Pokemon first edition out of Japan vending machines. So
Cool.
For my grandson, so I'm not a Poke fan, but my kids are. So
do you collect anything else other than comic books, John?
Good question. I suppose I do, but I don't actively pursue other collections the way I do. Example, just like if I can go out and you have the Jones to go and buy like a small short box, or to go on the hunt for a little bit. It's always so much fun to go on the hunt.
Yeah.
So I will not go on the hunt for a sports card or a bottle cap, but I like all kinds of shit. I mean, here's a beautiful story. There was a woman advertising locally. Her son had moved out of the house. Her husband had passed away. She lived in a working class part of town here in Montreal, and she was looking. She put out an ad on the local classifieds for a collection of comics that she wanted to sell. Son gave her the green light. I'm not coming home back to the city. Sell them off. So I went to her house, and this was probably in the springtime of this year, where everybody was gathering supplies and medical supplies and clothing for the Ukrainians.
Right.
So she happened to have been selling the stuff, and her intention was to give all the money to the Ukrainian church.
Okay.
So I went, and I went with a few $100 in my pocket. And when I got there, I took a look at the stack, and I went through the stack, and there was nothing special until I hit the bottom, and I hit an Amazing Spider-Man 238, which is the first Hobgoblin.
All right.
And it was the variant cover and the newsstand. It had the tattoos in it. It had all the bells and whistles. So I think this book, in raw condition, sells for $400 or $500 maybe. So I said, okay, I'll buy it, whatever you want. She was asking $325. So I said to the woman, what else do you have? Because I knew everything was just going to a good cause. So She pulls out these sports cards, and her son left her a huge box of, sealed pack, old baseball and football and hockey cards. So I said, okay, how much do you want for them? Take my money. Right. And then I said to her, what else do you have? And the last thing she had, Okay, and I'm going to show it to you because it's insane.
Okay.
And Kyle knows all about this. Okay.
If you think it's insane, oh,
she had this.
A one-armed bandit.
Yeah, this crazy.
I don't put you on full screen so we can see the full machine. Hold on, where is it? Find the button. Oopsie, there we go. Is that
ready?
Yeah.
We're gonna spin it.
All right. Has he got money in it?
So hold on. By the way, it's a 1980s reproduction, obviously.
Okay, I wouldn't know. I'm not an expert on.
Yeah. Well, listen, 1980s, like I said, it's a long time.
Yeah.
So here we go. For good luck for us and the show.
Here comes that jackpot. Do we share it?
Barely missed a jackpot.
Yeah, it wasn't far off. Hey, cherries. 2 cherries got to be worth something. Normally are. Oh, 2 melons.
Denied. Hold on.
You get quite a few spins for a single coin. What is that? How is that a winner? Is it the?
It's got the bar in it.
All right, so anything with a bar is a winner. I was never one for gambling, to be honest. Mind you, that is real old school. Isn't
And
it?
it's actually it's a triangle bar. It's a triangle bar hit. So there you go.
You get a lot of money for that, yeah.
So just go do the right thing. And you have a pure heart, and you reach out. The money that I gave to this woman, surely it went to a good cause, and I can't begin to tell you what a bang for my buck I get out of that fucking machine. If somebody walks into this place, they go, "Oh, can I hit it? Can I hit it?" Of course you can. Plus, okay, it's remedied any sort of gambling addiction I could possibly have. Right?
Outside gambling in your own house.
Like, all I need is a quarter to get my willies. 25 Canadian cents and my yayas are out.
And you can help yourself you can open it up and take them out again afterwards, I suppose. It's like a fun piggy bank.
So fellas, I'm almost out of juice on my phone here. So
right.
Ray, it's been such a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, great seeing you, mate.
Anybody who associates with Kyle Andrews has got to be good people.
Thank you.
We are a legion. And let me ask you, what kind of final comic book could I show you to make your day?
You got any old Spectre?
Spectre?
Yeah.
Golden Age Spectre?
Have you got one of them?
Now let me think. But I did actually pick up something, which is maybe not super high end, but it is Spectre, and it's a beautiful cover.
Cool.
Give me a moment.
I just first character that came in my head, really. I'm terrible when I put on the spot. I can't come up with stuff.
It's actually classic and quite in line with our talking about Jim Apparel.
Oh yeah, right. Is he one of the adventure ones, maybe? I know he did a good run of them in adventure, didn't he?
I just buried it last night. I have to find it now.
Oh, he's gone. Oh, I think has his battery run out? He was saying he was down to the last end of his battery. Oh no, he's back. Oh yeah. The adventure run. You've gone mute for some reason. Oh.
You're muted.
It says your mic isn't connected, it says.
You might have run out of juice.
Yeah, somehow it's gone mute. Oh, he's back.
There we go.
Cool. Yeah, I've got one of them as well, actually. That is a great cover. Jim Apparel. That whole series is awesome.
Really brilliant with the Barracuda.
Yeah. I thought I got a steal when I managed to get the whole lot in one go. Someone I got them for like £2.50 each. And at the time, I thought, wow, that's a bloody amazing price.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was well happy with that.
All right. So on that note,
well, hopefully we'll see you again maybe sometime in the future. Another week, perhaps.
Send me the link. I'll show up as quick as I can.
Okay,
anytime, brother. Anytime you want to be on.
Yeah.
Well,
great. Right, love you too, brother.
Nice meeting you, mate. Nice meeting you.
See you later, buddy.
See you later. All right, just us, man. Just us.
That's where my Marine Corps Good Conduct Medal went. So
really, all right. You trade?
Yeah. No, I didn't trade it. I gave it to him. He honors a lot of stuff I did with the military. He makes a much bigger deal out of it than I ever will.
Was he military himself, or he just
nope, not at all. But I wrote him up a thing that said for being a good human being, because all my stuff just sits in boxes, and I said, here's good conduct for being a good human being. And I floored him with it. He's like, but that's one of your medals, and I'm like, yeah, and you earned it just as much as I did. I earned mine for keeping my nose clean while I was getting shot at. He earned it for being a good human on the planet. So as far as I'm concerned, what better home for it than
the Kal-El Awards.
House. Yeah.
You have to start doing your own certificates and send them out to people.
Yeah, I copied a certificate, a good conduct certificate, and I did some over verbiage of him, for being a good human from his birthday and ad infinitum, and
cool.
Said, yeah, you earned that, buddy. So what do we do here? Iron out the details for our segments. You want to run your panels that please me?
Yes, I've run it now.
Whatever you want to do, brother.
Let's do that now. Then. You want to do that about the character focus you was going to do in a minute?
Character studies. We could do that.
Character study on eternity.
On eternity and. And my whole concept of character studies is not a study into the character themselves, but a study of the character that character gave to you.
Right.
I can't imagine there's that many
you can. I can't imagine there's that many you can do for that particular.
All of them. Yeah. All of them. Every comic book superhero. I mean, because you hear the Captain America complex. I have the Captain America complex.
Right. Okay.
I could do a whole 2-hour show on the Captain America complex. That's why I was worried about these, is because how am I going to shut my damn mouth and do a 5-minute segment?
Maybe you got the demon complex as well, because he speaks in rhyme, and you do like a bit of poetry.
Exactly. You can do that with every single one. I learned to be alliterative. From the demon, from this writer, from this artist brought me to this, and it all connects. And that'd be my mom. That'd be my mom. I'm trying to talk my mom. My mom and my grandnephew are watching this right now, and I'm trying to talk her into getting on her tab and popping up on this and making it appear.
She can tell something. She can get out the old photo album from when you was a little boy, like naked on the rug in front of the fire. That kind of thing.
She would, but yeah.
This is Kyle's first bath time.
But I want to get them on just to say hi. They're like, well, what would I talk about? And most people, like I told my wife today, it's like, just to prove you're real.
Mm-hmm.
I always talk about these people just to prove you're real. Walk behind me, but my mom would have a good laugh popping on here for about 5 minutes, just going tee. It's neat what you guys do, and it's great. But back
I want to come on and tell embarrassing stories about your youth. That's what I want to hear.
She'd do it in a heartbeat. This is who introduced me to Monty Python and took me to The Exorcist when I was a little kid, and
How did you get into The Exorcist when you was a little kid?
We went to the drive-in, and it was my brothers and I, and we're all a couple of years apart. Yeah, I will find those little bear, but you're an ass, Mom. You're an ass, but she would do it.
Yeah,
but,
awesome.
We went to the drive-in, and I guess when The Exorcist came out, maybe I was like 8, and then my older brother was 10, and my oldest brother would be 12. And he wasn't scared of anything, so we went to the drive-in, and me and my middle brother were in the back seat of the car, and they're like, okay, well, we'll tell you when you can look up. We'll tell you to hide for the scary parts. And what they did was flipped it in reverse, and they'd tell us to hide our eyes during the nothing. And then when the scares came on, they'd have us pop up. And I was like, it's no wonder I was scared easy as a kid, but I love that movie. So, it's just, and then she gave me the Monty Python sense of humor, her and my older brother. But yeah, these character studies, my whole concept with the character studies is,
how the character affected you.
Pick a character, and how did that affect my character going forward? And I couldn't wait to show this, and I really wanted to show this on the non-JMD Matea show because I'll bring it back up then.
Yeah.
But the fact
is
is
that
why.
the Eternity appearance that affected you then, was it?
Yeah, this is the one that hit home hardest for me when it came out, and of course he's coming on the show. I got him to come on the show so I can, because this is his first book with Marvel.
Right.
So, and it's his first story, and he just kind of scoffed at it, but it was an idea he had. But it's a piece of eternity is missing, and then the inner title is Eternity, Humanity, Oblivion. And you got all these heavy hitters on the team. And when this was on the spinner rack, not this particular issue, which I've had sent to Ed Hannigan signed, but I mean, this particular issue just jumped off the stands at me. I mean, what a holy crap cover. People always say that looks like the Fantastic Four Galactus cover. Well, this came out years before that, and the same guy did the layouts. Ed finished this, but Ed actually did the layouts for that Fantastic Four cover.
Yeah.
But this is a story about, a piece of eternity missing, and I was curious, and, I'm 13 years old when this comes out. And they just start with a conversation, and something happens, and things just start blipping. And it's freaking out Dr. Strange, what's happening. And it turns out Strange gets yanked out to go talk to Eternity.
Yeah.
And, uh-oh. We want to be on TV? Hold on. We might have a special guest to be on TV. You want to say hi to the TV? Yeah. No, he just runs right by. The grandson just runs right by there. So, but
does he read your comics?
Not the 5-year-old. The 10-year-old does.
Yeah.
But Strange gets pulled to Eternity, and this should be a semi-familiar panel because, if I got that and every note, and then like in comics, the worst thing in the world are these little things down here that tell you, oh, okay, this has happened before. Yeah. Well, now I got to go buy that comic book.
Yeah. Well, I was always seeing those as a kid, and because I never really had the blinking money, I was like not able to get the other comic books.
I had to go get that one, and then the whole thing about
that's the one.
The image.
That's the one you sent me, in it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's when he first pulled him out, and that's the image where he first appeared with him. But the whole concept of this story is Eternity had taken parts of himself and distributed them as humans.
Okay.
Across the world. And excuse me. This is while Nighthawk was actually impaired during the daytime. But these guys get paired off to go track these things down. And it's like the son of Satan, and he throws the best he's got at him, and then just a flick of the wrist, these pieces of eternity just shoo him away. So, you sure you don't want to be on TV with your pair? You want to get Peppa a hug real quick? Go get Peppa a hug real quick. He says, nah, they're off. They're off.
Fair enough.
But, those pieces of eternity, he split off all these pieces of himself to experience humanity. He, instead of being an outsider looking in, he splintered off pieces to himself and, left him out for a time, and then decided to bring him back in so he could have the full human experience.
Yeah, did you say one of them didn't want to come back or something like that?
3 of them. Three of them didn't want to come back. And because they didn't come back, the concept of eternity started fracturing.
Yeah.
Well, mind you, I'm barely a teenager, and I'm absorbing all this in my brain, and it's just blowing my mind.
Yeah.
It's such high concept, which, I could pan the crap out of the Thor thing where they had eternity and that, but it's, they had it. It's the concept is there. You know, maybe they didn't do great with it, but conceptually they're bringing it on there. But it was all high concept, and what Eternity brought to my character was my brain, was high concept, was my want to get out and experience that, to go out and experience humanity, you know, to take that piece of me and put it out there. That's why I'm not afraid to go out and meet people, talk to people. It hardened my skin. It broadened my horizons to want to go learn. So the character study there was this crazy thing about Eternity when I'm 13 years old, is it made me want to go out and experience life, you know. And when he finally gets, you know, this is a great big fight, and, you know, Nighthawk is Kyle Richmond, so I gravitate towards that for namesake. But like they just take the Hulk and Submariner and just go, you know, go away. You know, your strength means nothing to us. And all these big tough guys get just tossed off to the side. And it comes down to, you know, last second, Doctor Strange's astral form is talking to Richmond about, you know, this is our last chance. You got to do something. And he appeals to their humanity. He says, well, you say you love these people. You want to stay with these people. But if you stay, they're all going away. Yeah. So they understand sacrifice and they go. And at 13, I mean, that just hit me like a brick. Well, sometimes you have to sacrifice for the things you love, kind of like with the love I have in my life right now. We drifted apart when we were kids, and I had to stay back and let life run its course. And if we came back together, we came back together. But, you know, don't push the issue. Don't force things. Let it be natural. And it was natural. And I got the love of my life back, you know. And I've learned to live life like that from the funny books. You know, these are just as big as examples to me as some of the humans I've been in contact with, you know. Obviously not as big an influence as my mother, or, you know, the bad influences out there, like a few dads and stepdads an hour ago, you know, master created all part of himself to humanity too. Yeah, there you go. There's my mom's thought process. But my mom had a profound impact on my life in a good way. My dad had a profound impact on my life, or the bad way of, you know, what not to do. Okay. You know, he got raised in a generation of tough love and, you know, keeping it at a distance and bottling shit up. Yeah. Well, I'm not that guy. No. I'm a tough guy. I'm
hands on when it comes to family. Yeah. Are you a hugger? Are you a hugger, Kyle?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. I am a hugger.
I can't say I am. I'm a hugger. Yeah.
But you know, because my dad's side, you know, we're all military guys, and we're all, you know, tough, thick-skinned, hard asses. And I got to see through that veneer as I got older, because like my grandmas were always the toughest human beings I ever knew. And my grandpas would be the first ones to tell you that, even though, you know, these are tough war dogs, but they're not tougher than their own mom. You know, you can badmouth anyone on the planet, you badmouth their mom, they're going to knock your teeth out. That's the world I grew up in. And then I developed the mantra, all is fair in love and war. War is hell, and hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. You know, I can face down combat. I cannot face down a woman defending her own. She wins. She wins. You know, if I'm shooting it off between me and another guy, hey, best guy survives. If it's a woman protecting her kids, I'm going to turn my back on them to protect them and catch any flack that's coming their way, whether I know them or not. And again, it's a character study. Where did I learn this? Well, obviously from lineage and things like that, but I also plucked some of those morsels from comic books and the grander scheme of things. You know, it just wasn't about me. Even though I was a cocky teenager, I was beginning to learn it goes way beyond me. You know, and by the time I was done, I'd traveled the world a dozen times over. I've maintained these lasting friendships.
Comics that, you know, that I've enjoyed, and like they've sort of touched, the stories touched me or something like that. But I couldn't sort of think of any particular characters that would like affect. I would say I thought I'd read a profound effect from my character. I can't. I'm not really good at remembering stuff, and I haven't got much imagination when it comes to thinking that kind of thing through. I can remember the odd comic book where it's like, oh yeah, I remember that, but silly things. Like I remember I think it was a backup issue in a Brave and the Bold, the Green Arrow, and like it was a fire, and he was getting everyone out, and he said, nobody panic, don't panic. He's like, if anyone panics, that's when things go bad.
Yeah.
Don't panic. Everyone leave like in a orderly fashion. And for some reason, I've always remembered that. It was just like a silly little thing like that. I wouldn't say it shaped my character, but it's like a thing that I always kind of remember.
Panic gets people killed. Panic flat out gets people killed. If you're the calm center of the universe, when everyone around you is panicking, they'll go to you. You lead them out.
Yeah. I can't do it. I think it's a good
idea.
idea, but I couldn't possibly do it myself because I'd be the one panicking probably.
You never know until you're there. You never know until you're there.
I don't want to be there. Thank you.
You never know until you're there. But again, I mean, I could do this. There's 1,000 comic characters I could do that on. Now, I started with the most profound first. Then, like I said, the Captain America complex is pretty basic and protected.
I wonder if that's your poet's soul that makes you think of characters in that way. Maybe you got that.
There's a good part of it.
Process.
There's a good part of it that does that. So the warrior poet. I'm always going to be a warrior poet. So.
Is that Scald? Is that Scald? Are they warrior poets? No, they were just the old time storyteller poets, weren't they? The Scalds, Viking time, I think. Do you want to watch a video?
Yeah, let's watch a video.
Panels that please me, number 2. Let's watch this now. It's about just over 4 minutes. Check this out.
Panels that please me.
Okay, this week's panels that please me are from Judge Dredd's Mega Special number 3 from 1990. This is a great humorous tale brought to life by writer Alan Grant and artist C. Robinson. Alan Grant sadly passed away earlier this year, I believe. This story is a great homage or parody of the popular Carry On movie franchise, which anyone who lived in the UK in the 70s will be familiar with these films. They've been repeated all the way, like, they've never stopped repeating them. In fact, I used to love them as a kid because they were silly and funny and a bit saucy and a bit sexy. And I tend to rewatch them around Christmas time because they get repeated on some cable channel or other. And I just find them kind of like, they're just kind of like, I don't know, nostalgia and a little bit of fun as well. On this splash page, we see many of the regular Carry On cast with the text saying, "It's a crime the way they keep the law in Legover City 1. So instead of Mega City 1, the world's been changed to Legover City 1, which I'm assuming Legover means the same thing everywhere around the world. We see the delightful Barbara Windsor, whose regular wardrobe malfunction strangely interested me as a young boy. She and Sid James are judges. Then there's Hattie Jakes as Madam Iggy, Kenneth Williams as a perpetrator in 2000 AD parlance, with a mutant mix of Bernard Bresslaw and Charles Hawtrey. Now, if you're a fantasy fan, you might remember Bernard Bresslaw. I think he played a giant in Hawk the Slayer with Jack Palance, and he was the Cyclops, I believe, in Krull. Anyway. The story starts with Muty Bernie Charles tunneling into Legover City, with Bernie making various double entendre bottom jokes throughout, with Charles admonishing him for his language. Quite often he's not actually making double entendres, but Charles is reading them as double entendres, and that kind of double meaning is very, very popular and frequent in Carry On movies. Now, he's looking for Madam Iggy, played by Hattie Jakes, to get him a new ID because mutants are not allowed in Legover City, much as they're not allowed in Mega City. And here we can overhear Judges Bristol and Nudgewink, played by Barbara Windsor and Sid James. Now, if you don't know Cockney rhyming slang, Bristol's is Cockney rhyming slang. It's a shortening of Bristol City, which is slang for breasts. Bristol City's titties. And Nudgewink is just, if you've ever seen the old Monty Python sketch, nudge wink, basically it's a little bit of a saucy joke kind of thing. Right, they seemingly to be saying something rude at the moment. We can see but actually discussing a hot dog. But it looks like they're saying something a lot ruder. Here, Bristol, cop a hold of this. Oh, it's so big and hot, Judge Nudgewink. I don't think I'm going to manage it. Rubbish. Come on, open wide. Yeah, they're just talking about a hot dog. Now, this is typical Carry On saucy seaside postcard type of humour that this franchise excelled at, and basically it's quintessential British humour as well, really. Like, hearing about a mutant on the loose, they roar into action with Bristol having a slight clothing-related mishap. Later on, Kenneth William pops up as a pretty inept burglar. He's just one of the cast who did so many of the Carry On films. I suppose they had to find a role for him in this little parody. Then we see Mutiny, Bernie, Charlie turn up to see Hattie Jakes for some tongue-in-cheek jokes. Lots of sexy double entendres going on. Also here we see Nudgewink tells Bristol to pick him up, meaning her feet, but she mistakes him and lifts up her breasts instead. Finally, we discover this whole thing has been a film in a cinema that the real Megacity judges are raiding. It turns out Carry On movies are illegally imported from Britsit and are banned in Megacity. There's so much stuff banned in Megacity: sugar, coffee, comic books, heavy metal. I think they've all been banned in Megacity at some point or another. Attempting to escape, a citizen perp is tripped by Anderson. He falls into a concession stand and gets covered in various condiments. And in these two panels, we see Anderson apes the Bristol Barbara Windsor character from the film. Ooh, saucy! The story ends with Dredd in typical humorless seriousness, instructing his colleagues to carry on judging.
Carry on judging. Gotta love that.
That was the Judge Dredd Carry On movie crossover that you never knew you needed.
There you go. And I need it.
Yeah, that was just totally bonkers. It's just a great bit of fun there. But yeah, the old Carry On movies mixed in with Judge Dredd. It's like, where do they get these ideas from? But that's Alan Grant. He did so many great fun stories in 2000 AD. He did a good run on Batman as well, proper serious one on Batman, didn't he? I think it was in the 80s or 90s. Yeah. Great writer he was. Great writer.
Yeah, COVID got him, didn't it?
I'm not sure. I think it was COVID. I don't think it was COVID. I think he died this year, but I don't think it was COVID.
Grant was either COVID or cancer. One of them that died this year was COVID, but I thought Grant was COVID or cancer. I think Grant got one C or the other got him.
Right, probably, yeah. More than likely.
That worked out pretty well. We got a visit. My phone didn't peter out. We did a few segments that weren't terrible. I got to introduce friends around the world. I'd call that a success. And then we got to premiere your panels that pleased me a couple hours before it premieres. So
yeah. So does it say about his death on the Wikipedia page? I can't see anything about cause of death on there, so I don't know. Oh no. No, it doesn't say that. It mentions it, but not as his cause of death. No, he just says he doesn't say what happened. But yeah, very sad because he did some great 2000 AD work. I was quite annoying. I was searching through my 2000 AD to try and find that comic book because I was looking through them. I did cover slingers the other day, and I've dug out them 2000 AD ones for the robots themed one. And I happened to pass that one, and I thought that would be a good one for panels that please me. And I was looking for a comic book, and originally I was holding up the comic and filming it, and it just didn't come across very well. So I ended up getting the images offline and making that little, what I made there kind of thing. But yeah, so pretty cool story, I thought. Would you read a lot of Judge Dredd?
Every chance I get, but there hadn't been much of it gets over here. I've quadrupled my 2000 AD collection from gifts from guys in the group.
Yeah.
But, nowhere near what I should be reading.
I need to get bags and balls for my 2000 ADs. Got some of them in bags, but the trouble is, when I was young, I didn't really look after my comic books very well, and they sat up in the loft for years. They were in the loft for years in an open box. And so now they're all kind of like dusty and gritty kind of feeling, It's really sad and really, but, you can learn,
Now that 2000 AD right over my shoulder there, that's been under glass since I got it, but that's my Mick Jones.
Your London Calling one, your London Calling one.
That one I'm always going to gloat about. That's one of those,
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to say, if I was on a desert island, sure, I'd grab Defenders 92, but if my house was on fire, that's coming off the wall.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure every other thing I've got in here can be easily replaced, but that gift would come off the wall with me first.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I try and grab a box or two.
Yeah. I just have too many things, too many ways. I mean, I've done a few walkthrough videos on my channel. Hey, here's my library. Problem with that is, maybe with my new phone, I'll be able to do some more editing, but my library is actually in 6 different rooms. you know, because I have
Well, yeah,
bookshelves.
you should just work out what you want to show and get them all together out of the boxes in one go. That's what you should, and put them all in one room.
I'm talking about, like, when I say my library, I'm talking about my antique bookshelves. You know, I want to.
When you make your videos, just concentrate on one room at a time or one box.
But yeah, but with the comics, I can't. I keep trying to concentrate on a box, but I got to go through it quick to get it in under an hour. So then I got to sit and think, like I did with the last one, and then it was too short. You know, if it's 5 comics is too short, maybe I need to pick out 10 comics. Well, 10 or 12, or, you know, but I have to. I gotta find out. All right, my sweet spot would be 45 minutes.
I don't think the amount of comics or the amount of time really makes an awful lot of difference, really. I don't think it does. I mean, I've never.
But I mean, instead of just flashing the covers and going on or telling a tale about them, I don't know. I got to figure it out. I'm still with this tacky stuff.
I think you need to do pre-recorded videos with a nice thumbnail. Apparently, thumbnails work. And an interesting title to drag people in, that kind of thing, and just concentrate on one thing on your channel. My channel, I've got like 3,300 subscribers. Like, I've got so many different people from so many different bloody well things. So I only get about 20, 30 views on any video that I do, because a lot of them are from like Argentinian music reviews that I did. My most viewed country is from Argentina, because I did a load of reaction videos to Argentinian rock music at one point, because an Argentinian headbanger mate of mine suggested it. He said they were very popular, so I tried it. I was doing it. They weren't very popular. The trouble is you can't get the advertising revenue out of them, because they're all copyrights. You can't get the advertising revenue. And I've got loads of heavy metal gig footage on my channel, because that's what I was doing mainly to start off with, because I would go to gigs, underground gigs, and film bands. And I've done so much different stuff on this channel that there's no way that people like everything on my channel. I've got loads of Fallout stuff on there. I've got loads of, I've done a poem a day. I've done walkie videos I was doing, as you saw them.
I like those walkie videos.
Tarot card videos and poetry videos, and just lots and lots of silly stuff. Sorry, another thing I can't remember now. I've done a few like heavy metal hangouts. I was doing them last year. I've done some band interviews as well. I've done interviews with writers, a couple of horror writers that I sort of know, just like underground writers, not like big names or nothing. But nothing actually helps. Nothing's ever going to make me any money, particularly, unfortunately.
I'm thinking the title of most of mine are just going to be "I'm so full of shit, and this is why," volume 13 or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think that's the best way. I don't know. You lot can each other get popular. They come up with good sort of themes for their videos.
What I want to do is pure Andy Kaufman while I'm sitting here looking at it, but I would love to do a half-hour segment just reading pages of this. Literally, just reading pages of hitchhikers or talking hitchhikers. But, you know, I'd have to pick a topic. But, you know, I want to do an entire show. I want to do an entire live where we poetry jam Vogon poetry. Oh, my God. I've got a video of my Vogon poetry somewhere. I'll have to find the link for you to see if I can find the link for my Vogon poetry. I was going through just picking up bits of tat from my out room, and I found my book of Vogon poems. I would love to sit and do a live poetry jam one day of Vogon poetry. But, you know, bad to be bad, wretched to be wretched, funny to be funny, entertaining to be entertaining, but by no means good. You know?
No. Yeah.
What is a giggler French, or, you know, whatever? It doesn't have to make sense. That's
do you know that the Bug Blatter Beast of Trial is actually in the DC universe?
That's pretty funny.
The Ravenous Bug Blatter Beast of Trial is.
Was it in like the Legion of Superheroes or something?
No, it was in a Hawkman comic. A Hawkman comic from the 80s, I think. He's in I think he's fighting. I think he might be some fellow Thanagarians, and and he ends up fighting the Bug Blatter Beast of Trial.
That's amazing.
That's the link for my my Vogue on Poetry video if you're ever bored enough to want to check it out.
That's happening today. I am in a Vogue on Poetry mood. I feel so good because, again, I'm putting puzzle pieces together. Hey, Johnny, here's my friends from England. Hey, buddies from England, here's my friend Johnny. Hey, here's my mom in this. I'm bringing the world together like this, 5 people at a time. And it's all these cool people. I mean, to sit around and just shoot the cock and bull with you and Mark is great. Throw Johnny in the mix is better. Then we got Hill in the mix. We're going to have James B. Mateus in the mix. We're going to get Liam Sharp in the mix. Who knows who else is going to come up? Just, in what, that 3-minute time span, we went from comic books to sports to football teams to who doesn't like them to whatever. That's the discussion I want. I want to be sitting at a table full of like-minded but variable opinionated people where anything and everything can come up. Everything.
Random talky stuff, you mean?
Random talky stuff. If we want to talk philosophy, if we want to talk tarot cards, if you want to see 100-year-old books on mysticism, I've got a row of them right here.
Have you got your copy of the Necronomicon?
That sadly got taken the last go round of a bad relationship, but I've had a standing Necronomicon, but I have full bookshelves of theological studies of everything from, Taoism, Christianity.
That's right, because you're a what you call it, a man of the cloth, aren't you?
I am a man of the cloth. I am a theologian, but I'm for the right reasons. I'm a theologian, and I'm a student. I'm be a good person.
Was it Buddhism? You was
and
Taoism or something?
I study all them things. I studied the Satanic Bible. I studied the Necronomicon. I studied all that stuff. I've studied mysticism throughout the years. Chinese mysticism, modern American mysticism, Old English mysticism. I've studied all of it. I'm a student of all of it. I may not take anything from it. I may take a snippet from it. I may take volumes from it and carry it in my life. It just depends on what it is, I don't relate to the Quran in general, but I guarantee you there are passages, one right after another, which I would love to instill in my everyday life. Then right here next to me, anytime I want, Kabbalic writings of old Jewish mysticism.
Oh yeah,
Jewish
Kabbalah, yeah.
Jewish studies. I'll study it all. Figure out the good, retain the good, learn from the bad. So wherever people go with it, Johnny teaches me things on Judaism all the time. I'm not Jewish, but if I were, what would I do? If I converted, what would I do? What's the good part of that I want to gravitate to? Are there bad parts, to avoid? Whatever. It's just life. It's just history. And I want it at hand. I want to be that guy. I've wanted to be that guy for 35 years. That if somebody starts talking about something, I go, hey, hold on, let me go grab something on that. Let's talk about that. And I want to have, I don't want to know everything, but I want to know a little about a lot, and then get more well versed at it as I get to know people. So that's what got me where I am. That's why I'm all into eternity.
You got interest in a lot of different things.
Yeah. Because a lot of things are interesting, but I don't have to sink my life into it. It can be a part of my life. I can be a social butterfly. I land, I enjoy the company, I flutter, and then I come back and try and surround myself with the best of people, which is why I have this Wednesday show around the world with the best of people from around the world.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get more people watching in the future.
Yeah.
I know you're into the Kabbalah, so you might enjoy this. It's a little video, just over a minute long.
You are under the spell of Kabbalah. Kabbalah, the mystic one, sees all, tells all the secrets of your future. You've turned out all the lights. In the dark of the room, an eerie green glow. It's Kabbalah. The moment is tense, but undaunted, you place your hand on the mysterious board. A deep breath, and you're ready with your first question. Will I ever pitch a winning game? You watch the ever-searching eye of Zohar. Round and round the crystal marble goes. Where will it stop? Only Kabbalah knows. Will it spell yes? Will it spell no? Anxiously you wait as the future unfolds. See Kabbalah cast its spell on TV. Minutes later, now it's your partner's turn. The tarot cards for me, says she. What will my future be? Slowly she reaches for a card, then swiftly turns it up. See? A happy marriage with children, material wealth. Whee! Learn the deep secrets of your future. Get Kabbalah to tell you all. It's an exciting game for everyone. Comes complete with luminous board, the Eye of Zohar, and crystal marble which spells out answers, plus 22 future-telling tarot cards and instructions. Transogram, where the fun comes from.
Well, ain't that fun?
Have you seen that before?
Never seen that before.
That's an old comic book advert. I like taking old comic book adverts and turning them into little videos. So I've got quite a few. I've got a few hostage Twinkie ones and loads of old products. I just find them fun. And the old public service announcement ones as well. They're always a laugh.
That's cool. Yeah,
you're talking about Kabbalah, and it just made me think of it.
I reach over and grab something like that, and I can sit and talk about this, just insight to the guide to the cultures of the world. And that's right here in this bookshelf next to me, right on the shelf next to Ideas That Change the World.
Okay.
1001 ideas that change the world. Art, philosophy, love, the whole bit.
So, what have you read this week? What have you been reading this week?
Almost nothing. I've been busy this week. Almost nothing.
What have you been up to?
Cleaning house, domestic stuff, taking care of things, easing pain, trying to stay active. But hey, you, come on and say hi. Oh, you're in your underpants. Yeah. What are you doing? You gonna take your boat and take a bath? What are you gonna do? You don't want to be on TV? No. Okay, of course not.
No, not his underpants.
Well, no, I just figured he would have stuck his head around the corner here. I wasn't gonna go, look, he's in his underpants. No, he would have peeked around.
We're going to wait till you get your mum on here and shows the pictures of you.
Yeah,
that's when you were a little child. We'll save it for then.
But I figured he'd have walked over at some point and just been pointing at this or something. Why you on TV, Papa? So
I've been reading Dazzler this week. Still finishing up reading the Dazzler run that I bought. Finally finished my Dazzler run. It's been good. Have you read Dazzler? You read that first Dazzler series?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I used to have the whole thing. That was one of my original things I collected a lot back in the early 80s was the first Dazzler run. Because it was ridiculous and serious. Yeah.
Yeah, there are some quirky ones. I just finished reading the assistant editor's month. She gets a lift to San Diego from the editor of Ralph Macchio, who gives her a lift to San Diego and gives her $20 because she looks a bit like she needs the money kind of thing. And then later on, she ends up in the San Diego Comic Con fighting mutant hunters. You got this device that triggers the latent mutant power so they can see who the mutant is there, thinking that will pinpoint a kind of thing. But what they don't know, it actually triggers one of them mutant powers and they become like a giant dinosaur kind of guy. So she ends up fighting him. Then later on, Ralph Macchio comes crawling out from the wreckage kind of thing. And there's like a sort of a parallel story in the Marvel bullpen where the assistant editor's letting the power go to his head kind of thing. So it's quite a quirky issue.
Cool. I want to get the Dazzler graphic novel one day, but
yeah,
I figure the reading I'm going to do, I got a fun package coming from Johnny that's either going to be a live opening or hell if I get it. And it's around Wednesday, I'll open it up on this stuff. But
yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
that's what I'll pick up and read. But right now, I don't read nearly as much as I should. But there's achy long stories with that, so I enjoy them and remember them mostly.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I like to read. I don't read as so. I mean, I could read a lot more, but I'm always making things like making videos and stuff like that, and other stuff I have to get on with. But I probably read like a good 20 comics a week at least.
I used to read for hours on end. Hours on end, just every chance I got. I'd read in the bathtub. I'd take a novel with me to the bathtub. I'd read in the bathtub. I even got my glasses prescription updated, but since I've had all that radiation, my ability to read fine print for long periods of time has not come back.
All right. Yeah, I worry about my eyesight needs to be tested, but I find when the light level's low, I can't read as well. So I start thinking to myself, "Oh, my eye's going. I can't really read this very well." But I realise if I'm in a good light source, I can still read like fine. But yeah.
Yeah, they said with the radiation, it could affect my ability to read long term because it's. I get to focusing, but then it goes foggy, and then it focuses, then it goes foggy, then I get a headache.
Yeah.
And that's happened since I first started the radiation, and now I'm trying to filter it all out of my system, but it hasn't broke yet. Because I'd read a 300-page book in a day and a half while working at 10 hours at a job. You know, I'd work 10 hours, read 10 hours, sleep 2 hours, work 6 hours, sleep 2 hours, finish the book, you know, kind of thing like that. I can't do that anymore right now, and it's kind of maddening, but I don't know.
I don't read books anymore. I only read comic books nowadays. I used to read books as well, like loads of books, but I just don't ever get around to it.
I'm a rather quick reader, just basically a speed reader. I can go through a comic in a second and a half, basically. It's just like I look at it, rip, done. And I don't want to read like that. I want to sit down and soak up like I did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I can't. Not right now, I can't. You know, hopefully I can get back into that, but I can't focus. Uh-oh. Toucan.
Flamingo.
Toucan. Where you at, Toucan? What you doing? You gonna get Toucan? Who's mommy gonna get you? Oh, he just ran right by. I thought he was gonna run and hang out with me, but
no, he wants to throw my furniture off again.
Oh. Phoenix, come here for a second. Come here. Come here. Come here, give Pep a hug. No, okay. You don't want to see Pep on then? Come here. Oh, look. Oh, boy. Yay. We got Phoenix on TV. Say hi, Graham.
Hi, Lady.
Hey, man. There you go. You're on TV. Yay.
Hi, mate.
Yay. Somebody appeared on TV. Somebody appeared on TV with me. He said, hi, man. I've been trying to get one of my kids on here, my wife on here, whatever. So I need a grandson to pop up and go, hey. Eventually. You know, Alistair will be on shows with me, but just when he's over here. So
who's Alistair? Your other boy, the other nephew.
That's my oldest grandson.
The one that we had on Cover Streamers once.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, we've done 2 hours, mate. Best get on with dinner now. It's 10, so best toodle on out of here. We need to get some random people in. I thought we'd get some random people. What time is it over there in America now?
5:25. Yes.
Yeah, it's probably too early to get
or whatever.
It's probably too early to get random Americans in.
Yeah, we're a touch early for Roger to be free. So, like, he'll pop in and say hi, but we'll get him. We'll get him figured out.
Yeah, all right, mate. I'm gonna toodle off then, go and heat up my dinner and sit down and read a couple more Dazzlers. I reckon, maybe.
All right.
Yeah. See you later, mate. See you next week.
Buddy. Yeah. Cheers, everybody.
I've got other videos to play as well, but there's no point. I've got a Who's Who video to play. I might start playing a couple of Halloween videos as well. It is nearly Halloween, so I'll download my own Halloween videos, and actually, I've only got one more week to do that. I thought about doing it today, but I'm not sure I can bother now. No one's interested. They can always watch the old ones that are on my channel anyway. Just search them out on my channel if you want to watch one of my own videos. All right, cheerio then, mate. See you next week. See you Saturday. See you Saturday. Cover Slingers. You're on Cover Slingers, aren't you?
I got to dig out. I'm going to wait till tomorrow, but I'll dig out my black and whites. And sooner or later, I'll get up to 500 subscribers, and then I can platform share this on my own channel too. And that'd be awesome.
It might be a while for us another spot because I think Cap's coming back next week. He's going to try and come back next week, and he's like a regular. So when he's here, he's like a regular. So yeah. So it might be a spot for a while. We'll see. Anyway, cheers, mate. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Much love, everybody.